Hello, my fellows. It was an age of steam and steel, of soot-stained cities, an unimaginable invention. The 19th century Industrial Revolution didn't just change how things were made. It transformed the way people lived, worked, and thought. This was more than a technological leap. It was a reshaping of civilization itself. Before the smoke and the machines, life was rural. The majority of people worked the land. Most goods were handmade, often in homes or small workshops. Life moved at the pace of the seasons, and energy came from wind, water, and muscle. But as the 18th century came to a close, something began to stir in Britain. A chain reaction of innovation and ambition that would ignite the Industrial Revolution. But why Britain? Several unique factors set the stage. Natural resources. Britain was rich in coal and iron, the backbone of industrialization. Colonial wealth. Its global empire provided not just raw materials, but markets for finished goods. Stable government and banking. Investment in new technologies was encouraged, and patents protected inventors. Agricultural revolution. Improvements in farming freed up labor and increased food supply, allowing cities to grow. The first wave of industrialization centered on textiles, coal, and steam, and it began with invention. The spinning jenny, 1764, and water frame revolutionized thread production. The power loom mechanized weaving. James Watt steam engine-powered mines, factories, and eventually trains. The factory system replaced cottage industries. Work moved from homes to centralized locations, where time was money and discipline was strict. Cities swelled. In Britain alone, urban populations quadrupled by mid-century. Manchester became known as Cottonopolis. London was the world's largest city by 1850. B-roll, tenements, child laborers, polluted rivers. But the boom came at a cost. Overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, and grueling labor became the norm for many. Britain led, but others followed. Belgium was the first to industrialize in Europe. Germany and the United States quickly caught up. And by the late 19th century, the U.S. surpassed Britain in industrial output. Japan, after the Meiji Restoration in 1868, rapidly modernized in a state-led industrial push. The Industrial Revolution created enormous wealth, but also deep inequality. The middle class emerged. Entrepreneurs, managers, engineers, and clerks rose in social status. Working class suffered. Long hours, dangerous conditions, and meager pay were common. Women and children worked, often for lower wages, with little protection. It also gave rise to resistance, socialism, unionization, and calls for reform. The 19th century was not just about machines. It was about ideas. Capitalism became the dominant economic system. Socialism and Marxism offered critiques of industrial exploitation. Scientific management, or Taylorism, optimized labor productivity. Education expanded, public health became a priority, and governments began to play a larger role in everyday life. The cost wasn't only human. The Industrial Revolution marked the beginning of large-scale environmental degradation. It also intensified colonialism. Industrial powers extracted raw materials and labor from colonies, often with devastating consequences. By the late 1800s, a second industrial revolution emerged. Electricity replaced steam in many industries. Steel production soared with the Bessemer process. The telegraph, telephone, and railways connected the world like never before. Mass production began, paving the way for the 20th century. We live in the shadow of the 19th century Industrial Revolution. Its inventions built our world, and its consequences still shape our future. It gave us progress, but also inequality, innovation and environmental peril, productivity and alienation. Understanding this era is key to understanding ourselves and the choices we face today. If history teaches us anything, it's this. When society harnesses technology, the results are never neutral. They depend on us.